has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible, hanging out the bad seed, the burger, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion show. Ooh, woo, woo. Along with the Tutty and Tater King himself. The founder of the ILC podcast, the rights holder of the Sheet of Integrity, the put it with the golf guru, particularly on the week of the Open Championship at Royal Portrush. Carver, hi this afternoon, lady. Mafia is running it along with Luke. I am your father. The rundown on a Terrible Towel Tuesday. We've got our buddy Mike DeCourcy, the famed scribe from the Sporting News, joining us this very hour. And then in the second hour, Jody McDonald from the Jody Mack Show joins us for Philadelphia's finest, of course. And then in the second hour as well, Chris Algieri, the former boxer and analyst now, getting ready for Pacquiao Barrios Saturday night in Cincinnati. Beautiful day in Las Vegas, baby. You get it all, Carver High. The fights, you got Summer League, you got WNBA, you got the Open Championship, and we've got an all-star game tonight in Atlanta.
Yeah, who says that this is a slow week? I mean, who actually says that? Look at all those things that you just rattled off there that are going on tonight. I mean, or in the next couple days. I mean, it's just a litany of stuff to get action on here. Let's start with this home run derby from last night. As you know, we had... look, you know, I had Caminero, and I was obviously a little disappointed he got to the final. At least I was able to come back on Raleigh a little bit at the start since I knew Junior was there. But it's funny, Cal Raleigh won, Scotty. He was the story, for winning. He's got the most home runs in the majors this year. He really, honestly... I don't know how they let him out of the first round by like 6 centimeters of the longest home run over Rooker. Why they couldn't just have each guy swing for 30 seconds or a minute when they were tied with 17, I have no idea. But even all of that, I still left it last night thinking the real star of the show was actually Cruz, the Cruz missile, because he's the guy that actually put on highlight reel stuff. I mean, 513-foot homers. He had like the 10 hardest hit homers of the entire night. Like, I thought Cruz had the biggest. He just got caught in the wrong matchup in that second round with Raleigh, who got hot.
Yeah, I mean, he hit the furthest home run. He hit the furthest home runs. Speaking of litanies, he had a bunch of them that were the longest tape-measured home runs. But at the end of the day, he was hitting line drives when it came down to the matchup against Raleigh. And Raleigh had, punctured, I think, 18 of them or whatever it was. And he beat him flat out. And, I got to tell you, I thought that you knew that Caminero looked tired to me in the final when he was running out of gas there at the end and that it was over and that the favorite had won it. I'm not a fan of the favorite winning anything. To be honest with you. And we looked at it yesterday, and he was the favorite over Cruz. I thought Cruz did a great job, but as usual, nothing good happens to the Pirates, and he lost. And then he was sucking up to Caminero and that posse when he went to the final and giving him advice and everything else, and you saw how that worked out. So Cal Raleigh wins it with his dad pitching and his little brother catching, and that was that. And I got to tell you, when it was over, I was like, I was watching it with my son, and I said, I hate this stupid thing. I really do. I said, I can't stand it. And then, I got to tell you, when Cruz lost, I turned the channel to Summer League. I went back to watch the final midway through, and Raleigh had already hit his home runs, and then I watched Caminero fail. And I could tell when I was watching him that he was going to lose because he looked shot to me. Sweating, taking timeouts. It's over then.
Well, Yeah, he had a big problem. I had more fun watching it the first 2 hours when I was doing the show with Joe, basically because I couldn't hear the broadcast. So I couldn't hear them. I couldn't hear it the first 2 hours, and I was having a blast. I was just obviously betting on the dingers, and I'm like, this is great. Then the last hour, I had to watch with the sound on because we were done doing the show, and I wish I should have just turned the volume off. It was so painful. And I had to hear about Raleigh's brother talking him up every hit. Oh, great hit, the 15. All right, great. Enough already.
This? How about so Ravitch and what is it? Gonzalez? Is that his name?
I think it was Eduardo Perez.
Whatever. Here's the deal.
Todd Frazier, Todd Father.
But they kept going. When Caminero was down like 8 or something, and he had like 15 pitches left, he's like, Ravitch kept going, he just needs 8 in a row. And there were 2 outs, and he needed 6. He's like, all he needs is 6 in a row. Do you think he can get 6 in a row? And then the guy's like, it's going to be difficult. And I was like, who are you clowns? What are you watching? This guy has no chance. He was popping balls up to girls in the middle infield. Honestly, it was over.
They did the same thing
to the bitter end, and it was pathetic.
I know. They did the same thing when Cruz was down to his last out or two. They were going like, "What? He just needs 7 more. He just needs." Like, guys, please, it's got to stop. It was too much, but it is what it is. It's the home run derby.
Got it the way Berman did it. Berman
Nobody
did it
does.
the best, and then they got these wannabe clowns trying to like live up to that, and they just can't do it. I honestly, I have to say, because I think Carl does a really good job with baseball, and so does this guy. Who'd you say his name is? Perez?
Eduardo Perez.
Eduardo Perez. I can't remember all these people. So here's the deal. I think they do a great job with baseball, and then with that home run thing, it was a wood chipper. I mean, they just butchered it. It was so bad. Like what you said about Cruz, what I said about Caminero. They're still trying to sell me that they're going to win when they have no chance at all, and they're completely shot. And these guys are still trying to clown me that they're going to get it done. Like, at some point, I used to say when I was calling games, we're taking it in the arse. You're down 7-1. The game is over. Yeah. Let's stop trying to play like we're going to come back. Okay? I never did that when I did games. When you're getting your tuchus kicked, you just got to, start finishing with jokes. You got to start being entertaining at that point. The game's over.
That's what you need to do. So we'll go through that. We have the game tonight, of course. Skeens and Scooble will be starting for the AL and the NL. I've got a bunch of stuff for you from the game. If you so choose to bet on it, I'll give you some options. We also have the Summer League. We've got action tonight. A lot of stuff from last night. There were some great finishes in the Summer League last night. The Jazz Spurs game was great. About that dunk that Furphy had for Indiana last night, where he posterized the dude on Chicago. A lot of good stuff in the Summer League.
Listen, I thought the thing that stood out most to me was that Utah Spurs game was Filipowski. What a game. He had 35. He had 5 threes. I never saw that kid shoot a 3 once at Duke. And he was popping them last night in the NBA. Boy, is he going to turn into something. He looks fantastic. And then Dylan Harper's bucket to tie it and send it to overtime. And then the kid, Minix, who hit the winner at the buzzer. How about how the refs tried to go, watch it again? But everyone in the building, everyone in America knew the bucket counted. But they go to the replay to see if it counted. The refs ruin everything.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
they're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
I mean, Houston beat the snot out of the Dodgers, 18-1. And this is what happens here. Oral Hershiser doing the game for the Dodgers brings up the cheating scandal, going, oh, they must know the science because they're hitting curveballs that they know it's coming. It's like, oh boy, does he really want to go down that rabbit hole again here? I think this is one of those nights where they got destroyed. Yeah, hey, it happens in baseball here. But just found that an interesting comment by Oral Hershiser. Start bringing up the cheating scandal again.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
You have a head coach in Jim Harbaugh that's proven he will cheat to win. He will win at the biggest stage and doesn't give a damn who cares or finds out, and he'll just move on. That's what I love about a coach. That's the type of coach that I want. Win at all costs. Now, also, at all costs means, like, how are we building this team? Because I actually thought Harbaugh would come in and say, okay, let me just see what the players on the roster is. We'll weed them out after a year, but there's a lot of talent. He built that foundation last year and still made the playoffs.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Of an interesting couple of weeks in California, if you recall, just I think it was 2 weeks ago, language was inserted into a bill that would outlaw or ban sweepstakes casinos and sports betting, which of course we've seen lots of that happen this year. So California is an interesting market because, as you've said, there is no legal online casino, there is no legal online sports betting.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Good game today in Vegas in the Summer League. It's going to start in about an hour and 15 minutes in Sin City. It's Timberwolves and Pistons, and they're both 2-0 going into this game, and Minnesota's laying 4.5. And you wonder about that big number when they're both as tough as they look so far. I mean, we've already seen, I've watched the Pistons once. They look pretty good to me, so I might be interested in that number.
Yeah, you're right. A couple of 2-0 teams will get things going in Vegas at the Summer League at the Thomas and Mack. Just a little bit over an hour from now, 4:30 p.m. East tip. -4. I've actually got it up to 4.5 now for the Timberwolves, with the total in the mid-180s, actually down to 185.5 right now at this very second. But should be fun. Couple teams that are 2-0 to start the Summer League day, Scotty. And there's six other games that start after that we'll talk about later. So another very full night out in Vegas for the Hoops.
You know, these two teams are scoring right in that range of 98 to 104 points. You know, both of them are doing the exact same thing. They're running in concert with one another. So that's why I think that might be live, that 4.5. Like, if you look at Detroit's wins, it was 98-83 over Houston and 104-86 over the Knicks. I saw them play the Knicks. The Knicks looked awful. And then the T-Wolves, 94-83, same score against Denver, and 98-91 over the Pelicans. So they're scoring 98. We saw the Pistons put up 104. I'll take those points.
Take the points. When that one, we'll do the rest of the card later, including a pair of 0-2 teams, the Knicks and the Nets, playing each other at the Summer League later tonight, which we will discuss. Everybody's excited for that. At the Cox Pavilion, to believe the night session. All right, let's wrap up the rest of the Derby stuff. Of course, as we mentioned, Cal Raleigh was the winner. He's having the best home run year ever. 38 at the break. He wins the home run Derby. I still don't like the way that they advanced him out of the first round. I thought that was nonsense. I think if you had a ticket on Brent Rooker to win the home run Derby, you should be upset. But it is what it is. It is the dopey home runs.
But with their phony measurements?
Well, I mean, they've always done the swing off. And look, I know this because we've been betting on this thing for the last few years. So they've always done the swing off, which is when someone's tied for something, they each got 30 seconds or a minute, and whoever hits the most in that amount of time, will advance on to the next round. They did this thing this year where it was whoever hit the longest homer broke the tie in the first round, and both guys had 471 feet, and Raleigh was 471.56, and Rooker was 471.44 or something like that.
Right.
And they knocked the guy out for that. Like, get lost. I mean, you know what happened. They wanted Raleigh to keep going. He's the guy. Nobody wants to see Brent Rooker continue on, even though we've all got 10 or 11 to 1 tickets on him to win.
Yeah.
We did a 10 to 1. At 10 to 1, there's plenty of people who want to see Brent Rooker continue on in the home run derby. Either way, you get the storybook with Cal Raleigh and the dad and the brother and the entire family affair. What a night for Cal. Here he is.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of surreal. You don't think you're going to win it, and you don't think you're ever going to get invited, and then you get invited, and the fact that you win it with your family and super special, and just what a night. Pretty cool. Hopefully can inspire some future catchers, future switch hitters out there, and got to give credit to this guy right here. He's the one who made me both of them, so catcher and a switch hitter, and just super blessed and grateful for where I'm at, and just unbelievable experience.
Whatever.
There you go. And everyone loves this guy, the dumper, after this season that he's having. His popularity's soaring.
Yeah, and he is going to be playing for USA next year, too, in that World Baseball Classic. He'll be the
Very
catcher.
exciting.
So that is very exciting. They only have a couple guys so far, but some pretty big names, right? Skeens, Judge, Raleigh, and Bobby Witt. So that's a pretty good start for USA next spring at the WBC. Also, I wanted to give you some numbers on the cruise missile, because I really do believe he deserves his due here. He hit 21 homers overall. 5 of them were 480 feet or more, including the 513, I guess it was tacked at that. Sky, there's like a hotel out there in right center field, right beyond like the water and all that. Like he hit the hotel that's out there. He hit 2 balls on the roof down the right field line above the chop house. 7 of his homers had an exit velo of 114 miles per hour or harder. Unbelievable show by O'Neal Cruz. And that happens a lot in home run derby. Sometimes the guy who wins isn't the guy that gets talked about down the line. I mean, everyone talks about Josh Hamilton at Yankee Stadium that year, Scotty. You remember when in 2008, I think it was, where he destroyed the place. He didn't win the home run derby that year. And that's all that anybody remembers out of it. So I think you get a little bit of that with the cruise missile last night, too.
Well, I don't know if you saw during the whole process, Vinny P was cracking jokes on X.
Yeah.
And he was saying that when this guy's at bat and you're playing first base, you're actually scared to death. The way he rips the ball. The problem with him is, and the reality, the harsh realities of the Pirates are that O'Neal Cruz really does not hit. He's a lucky hitter. Like he'll hit home runs, once every 2 weeks that are mammoth shots into the river and into the Allegheny or whatever, into the, out of the ballpark. He'll hit one, up into the beer stand. He'll hit one on the sidewalk pavement leading to the river, hit one in the river. But he hits 200. I mean, the guy is a pathetic hitter. That's the reality of it. He can't hit at all. He just swings and he gets lucky once in a while and hits a home run, and they act like he's Babe Ruth. Let's stop with this guy's a great hitter, because he isn't. If you hit 200 in the majors, you suck. That's just all there is to it. I don't care what anybody says. I like his arm. I like his home runs. But he's a guy that I could see them moving on from eventually. How many seasons of this guy hitting 210 are we going to put up with?
I say, you crank that Soldier Boy, right? You Darvish back on the mound. Haven't seen this guy in a minute right now. Yeah, man, crank it, man. Get it going up. Get the high. Yeah, let's go. Crank that Soldier Boy up here. Yep. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. That was big back then. Where were you? Senior high school? Or maybe even in grade school? Then?
Bar mitzvah slate. In the bar mitzvah slate each and every weekend. The young Benny Steve was out there hitting.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Do they practice in a public park? And Farrell and Lodge said, no, they have a little facility, but it's open to the public. No, it's a public park. Like, it basically, like, there's like kids playing basketball, like, yeah, no, it's bad. I looked, I'm like, dear God, like, I thought, I'm like, man, I bet a lot of money on these guys. I can't believe this is where they practice. Like, yeah.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
Obviously, he didn't do great in the last two majors, and we're going home here. We're going to Northern Ireland, Royal Portage. This is Rory's the reason why we're going here. Got off to a rough start, throwing his tee shot out of bounds back in 2019. I think he'll be ready. Not yet ready to call him the winner. I still have a couple of days before I do that, but it is a home game for him. And as you saw, based on this weekend, he is playing well.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I would be looking to get him in dynasty or keeper leagues. If I'm out of a league and I'm looking to rebuild for the next years ahead, that's where I'm looking. Yuri Perez is a special young pitcher that we're going to be talking about in that Paul Skeens, in that Tariq Skubal, in that grouping of guys. I think he can be that good. He's only 22 years old. He's the boy. So you're getting a situation here where Yuri Perez eventually is going to grow into that man of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
So a career 240 hitter is what they're saying Cruz is? Well, he's hitting 212 this year, so he's really lighting it up. I'm sick and tired of it. I watch this team, and literally they have no one that can hit. I mean, it's how hilarious is it that really at the end of the day, McCutcheon's their best hitter. And what's his name? The second baseman, Gonzalez. He's a guy that's actually hit around 290 and had 5 for 5 games. And I can't even believe that because I never thought he was much of anything either. They have no one on that team that can hit. No one, not one player.
No, and look, he's got all the talent in the world. He's got the tools, but here's the problem. In a everyday Major League Baseball game, guys aren't throwing BP fastballs down the middle at 93 miles an hour, and if you throw that to O'Neal Cruz, that's when he hits balls into the Allegheny. When he hits those moonshots, it's because guys are making mistakes. If you are a good pitcher, you could get him out because he's undisciplined. He's got all the power in the world. You see it with all the exit velo and all these things he can do. He's got speed. He's one of the fastest players in the major leagues.
But he's never on base.
He has no plate discipline. He hasn't refined that part of his game yet. He swings at everything. I mean, everything that comes his way, he's swinging at, trying to hit it 600 feet. And he has tons of talent, but somebody's got to just hone him in a little bit. And I'm sure coaches on the Pirates have tried to hone him in a little bit with some of the stuff that he does. And it'll probably be the next team, like you said.
Needs to be honed in, and the coaches need to be coached. And they don't know what they're doing. And you know what? I actually think he needs to be, frankly, somewhere else, that someone can teach him how to play baseball because they're incapable of success. They really are. I mean, let's stop with all this other nonsense. They are pathetic. And I mean, they're minor league teams better than them. They're legitimately are minor league teams that are better. The Savannah Bananas are better than the Pirates. I mean, honestly, I'm done with it. I'm so sick and tired of Like, are you kidding me? I got to listen to this guy every night say, here comes Isaiah Kiner Falefa. He's horrible. Hey, how about this? Oh, here comes the Gold Glover, Cabrian Hayes. That guy hasn't had a hit in 5 years. He's so awful. Don't get me started. I was in a good mood when this show started. Don't get me started.
It'll be wherever he goes next, because there will be a next for him. That team will unlock the treasure chest. Like somebody will figure it out with him, and for whatever reason, the Pirates just haven't been able to do it yet. But he's got all the raw talent, all the raw talent in the world. That dude's got. He just has to refine it a bit. All right, we've got a lot to do for the game tonight. Of course, the All-Star game, which will be in Atlanta. The game itself. Let's hear from a few of these guys, Scotty, that are going to be there. Of course, Aaron Judge loves being at the game, loves being in Atlanta. I had no idea he had family there, but he'll be very popular tonight at Truist Park. Here's Judge.
It's going to be great. This is one of my favorite places to come. I got some family down here in Georgia, so it's always cool having them here. But it's always a fun atmosphere. The crowd's electric. I feel like the ball flies here a little bit, or maybe that's just for me watching, Ronald Acuna Jr. just hit the ball over the park. But it's a special place. I love it. Good atmosphere. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he is so good at selling happiness. It's not even funny. There is nothing unique about that place at all. Like how many ballparks have they had now that I've seen them mow through? They move around that city looking for happiness like it's an Easter egg hunt. I mean, honestly, like the hockey team, they're going to move them out to Forsyth County, the third team they've had. The baseball team moved out of the crack neighborhood. I'll never forget, I used to leave. So 2 arenas. The one downtown, which is now State Farm, used to be the hub, Phillips Arena. I used to do the games, and I used to literally park in the media lot, and I would run to my car after the games. I used to go to Braves games when it was in the hood. You could literally either run for your life to your car to get home safely, or you could just buy drugs on the way to the car. I mean, like, honestly, they were literally selling drugs in the parking lot as you left the ballpark. It was like a crack neighborhood. It was unbelievable. People getting shanked and murdered. No wonder they moved it 3 times.
I say you crank that Soldier Boy, right? You Darvish back on the mound. Haven't seen this guy in a minute right now. Yeah, man, crank it, man. Get it going up. Get the high. Yeah, let's go. Crank that Soldier Boy up here. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. That was big back then. Where were you? Senior high school? Or maybe even in grade school?
Dude. Bar mitzvah slate. In the bar mitzvah slate each and every weekend, the young Benny Steve was out there hitting it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They practice in a public park. And Ferrall and Lodge said, no, they have a little facility, but it's open to the public. No, it's a public park. Like, it basically, like, there's like kids playing basketball. Like, yeah, no, it's bad. I looked, I'm like, dear God, like, I thought, I'm like, man, I bet a lot of money on these guys. I can't believe this is where they practice. Like, yeah.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
Obviously, he didn't do great in the last 2 majors, and we're going home here. We're going to Northern Ireland, Royal Portage. Rory's the reason why we're going here. Got off to a rough start, throwing his tee shot out of bounds back in 2019. I think he'll be ready. Not yet ready to call him the winner. I still have a couple of days before I do that, but it is a home game for him. And as you saw, based on this weekend, he is playing well.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Would be looking to get him in dynasty or keeper leagues. If I'm out of a league and I'm looking to rebuild for the next years ahead, that's where I'm looking. Yuri Perez is a special young pitcher that we're going to be talking about in that Paul Skeens, in that Tariq Skubal, in that grouping of guys. I think he can be that good. He's only 22 years old. He's the boy. So you're getting a situation here where Yuri Perez eventually is going to grow into that man of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, it's always fun when Mike DeCourcy gets going from the Sporting News on Coast to Coast, and we got a lot to talk about today, and he's done it again with his latest piece on LeBron James being the greatest player ever over Michael Jordan. You've really done it now, Mike.
The beauty of this particular series, and we have a lot of different articles on this. We posted the first two today. Myself and Bill Bender, we have been arguing about this in staff meetings and private conversations for probably close to a decade. So our editors decided we were going to take it public, and Bill has his article about Michael as the greatest online as well. And so it's both of us talking about this. But what's interesting about the conversation, Scott, is that usually when you're talking about Michael, everybody over a certain age automatically goes toward him. And if there's anybody arguing for LeBron, and I argue in the article that he's vastly underappreciated even by his own contemporaries, that it's usually someone younger. Well, I'm clearly not young, but I have seen the whole careers of both of them and the whole career of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as well. And LeBron is the greatest I've seen. His career is a monument. 10 overall NBA finals, 8 consecutive finals. I did talk to the great Austin Carr, and that was fun because he was kind of my first basketball hero when I was a young kid. And I talked to him, and he now does the Cavs games on television as the analyst. And he said that 8 consecutive finals that they went to from 11 on, both in Miami and Cleveland, that no one will match that. And it's a vastly underrated stat when compared to MJ's 6 rings.
Well, listen, I'm not going to argue with his talent or his numbers and stats and career and finals and the records that he holds. I've always said on this show that when he's done, he'll hold every record in the game. I mean, except 6-0 in the finals.
Right. But one of the things that I talk about in the piece is how much different the competition is during LeBron's era than it was during Michael's era. Michael had the advantage of both the icons that he faced early in his career, Magic and Larry Bird, cycling out of the game, and then essentially no one else emerging at that level during his period. You could argue that obviously Hakeem Olajuwon was a great player, a Hall of Fame player, but no one during his period emerged as one of those icons like Shaq did later on in that decade, and like many have since. LeBron had a much stiffer competition to go against. One of the things that's overlooked with Michael, and no one ever talks about this, Scott, and I will talk about this as much as I can, is that the league added 6 teams in 7 years during the prime of Michael's career. So they're digging way deep down in the talent pool to fill those teams because we didn't have the international explosion yet then either. We now have 35% international players and some of the greatest in the game, Nikola Jokic and Giannis, et cetera. We didn't have that during Michael's time. So they basically dipped down and made a bunch of CBA guys, what was CBA then and now G League guys, into NBA players. And so it wasn't as challenging for Michael to dominate in the 90s as it has been for LeBron during his career.
I'm just surprised. I always thought Bill Bender just talked college football. I didn't know he liked basketball so much. There's a story for you in itself. I want to go to the Club World Cup now. And you wrote a couple articles, one of them on Palmer, who I thought played brilliantly for the Blues on Sunday. He was amazing, except for that haircut of his. And then, I mean, that's worse than Mark Davis's. It really is. It's so bad they do commercials about it, and everyone's got the same haircut. It's fantastic. And then you wrote about the fact that people were up in arms about the Club World Cup. I thought it was fantastic, and I thought it was a great dry run for the World Cup next summer.
One of the things that I noticed, Scott, was a lot of those criticisms were coming from Europe. Look, if you're Chelsea, you're playing in the winter in November, December, January, February, and it's cool. I mean, you're not ever getting too hot on the field, and I get that. But if you're going to have a World Cup, unless you want to do what they did in Qatar every 4 years, and they clearly don't want to disrupt every league season practically, certainly the European League season, which is the most prominent. Unless you want to do that every 4 years, you're going to have to play somewhere it's hot. I mean, that's just the reality of it. At the same time that we were having hot temperatures here and some thunderstorms that disrupted games, at the same time, they had a heat wave in France that was horrific. They had a heat wave in Greece that was really terrible. They had heat advisories in even England, which is generally a cool place. So there's no way around that. And the advantage that we do have here now is we have multiple indoor stadiums on the schedule. There are 4 in the U.S. There's 1 in Canada. So a lot of these stadiums will be air conditioned. When I went to the World Cup in 1994 to see Germany against South Korea, it was 120 degrees on the field, and I think it was just as hot where my wife and I sat. We were sweating, but it was a great game. And now they'll go back to Dallas this year, in 2026, I should say, for 9 games, and every one of those will be air conditioned. So I've had enough of the gatekeeping from Europe. It's going to be a great World Cup. There are going to be more people that see this World Cup, Scott. There are going to be twice as many people that see this one as have seen any previous World Cup. And don't ever forget, 1994, after all these years and a first round of expansion in the World Cup, the 32 teams from the 24 that were in place in 94, it's still the all-time attendance record, 1994. 3.5 plus million. No one has gotten there, even with an expanded World Cup.
Mike, I think that I certainly agree with you. I think that the World Cup is always great. I don't care where it is. I don't care what the temperature is. I don't care where they play it, in what stadium they play in. I don't care if it's pouring or it's 105. I love the World Cup, and I watch every single day of the entire thing. So I did want to say, though, I was stunned at how badly PSG got their ass beat. I couldn't even believe it. Because I'll be honest with you, I bet on them. I thought they'd win in 90 minutes as sure as I was sitting here. And they got smoked. It was over at the break. And Palmer made sure of it. And those were some beautiful touch goals he had.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Just brilliant. Every single touch that he had practically was dangerous. He did some good defensive things as well. The 2 goals he scored were terrific. The goal he created with his pass forward was brilliant. But I will say, one of the interesting things, and this is how games can go, especially at the highest level, Scott, is Doué had an opportunity 2-on-1 with the goalkeeper and one defender early in the game. I can't remember the minute, but it was before the first Chelsea goal. Yeah. And it was a clear opportunity for him to take the shot. He was 1-on-1 with the keeper. There was a defender close by. And instead of taking that shot, he had plenty of room to score there. It was clearly the opportunity that they were dying to create to gain control of that game. And he passed it. And it was the total wrong play. And one of the things that frosts me, Scott, in the media and sometimes coaches is the word calling that be more selfish. No, that's not selfish. Doué's job is to score there. Right. It's his job. It's not selfish. It's unselfish to pass it, but it's also wrong. It was the wrong play. It cost them a goal and maybe cost them a world championship.
When I was watching it, I said the same thing. I went, why didn't he strike it? Why didn't he kick it? He had the goal. And then he tried to pass it and it got deflected. And they never had another chance. Great stuff today as usual, Mike. You've done it again.
Here's a tip for my fellow golfers and gamers. Do you want to book a golf trip to Vegas? For the best weather, aim for spring and fall. But the best prices? Aim for summer and winter. But if you're looking for that sweet spot, try June. You get the August prices without that scorching heat. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So I know Carver High has footage from Atlanta of the newest Yankee that'll be joining the team at the deadline. You got some Gino Malkin Suarez.
I do. I did want to move on, but before we move on, I'll just say I didn't know that Bill Bender was so in on any of that either. We know Bill as being a college football guru around here. I didn't know he was so passionate about MJ versus LeBron and hoops, and he's all in the mix. Your boy Bill Bender. So nice job.
Learn something new every day.
You do learn something in every single day. All right. So Eugenio Suarez, of course, is in Atlanta at the All-Star game. He plays for the Arizona Diamondbacks right now. He's having an amazing season, already over 30 homers for Gino, but he could have a new home in the next couple of weeks. It sounds like Arizona is going to put several guys up on the trade block to try to recoup some assets, guys that are pending free agents. Sounds like it's about white flag time for Arizona, especially since a lot of these guys can leave after the season and they get nothing back for them. Suarez is one of them. How about playing for the Yankees? Who wouldn't want to play for the Yankees, right, Gino?
There are a lot of rumors with you maybe to the Yankees. I guess how would you feel about a trade to a contender with maybe a better playoff chance than you've got right now?
I mean, Yankees is Yankee. You know, I feel like it's a team who want to win. They had the test from last year, but they're hungry still. If I got over there, like I said, I will do my best over there, try to help them win the World Series.
There you go. You know what that reminded me of is that Super Bowl media night where everyone's screaming and you can't hear a thing the guy's saying, and you get your sound back from the interviews, and you might as well have done it in a toilet bowl. But I know this, that the guy hits home runs and he can play. But I think the talk of, I have heard literally even Heyman, did you see his bizarre trade? He was going to trade the entire Yankee prospects, all their best pitchers, including that Schlittler kid. They're going to trade the whole team for Suarez and gallon of milk. Like, they're going to get both players. Like, are you kidding me? Do you really buy that they're getting both of them?
No, I don't. Now, look, obviously,
Suarez.
Obviously, Schlittler, after he's only made one start for the Yankees, it looked pretty impressive with him touching 100. He had a lot of juice. Why not? One start. He should have been there. And, of course, everyone loves this Spencer Jones in the Yankees farm system who his numbers in the minors are comparable to when Judge was in the minors. I saw that, people throwing that around today. I don't think that you could trade those guys for rentals, 3-month rentals, especially when I'm not sure that the rentals are going to put you over the top to where you're going to be back in the World Series. Like, I like Gino Suarez. Gallon of Milk's having a bad year, but I think he's better than a lot of the guys that the Yankees run out there right now. But are they going to beat Detroit with those two guys? I don't know. I don't think so. Are they going to beat the Red Sox with those two guys? Are they?
No,
Houston.
No. We've already had this conversation. They are not looking like a World Series or a pennant-winning team to me. Like, the last time the Blue Jays were this good, they won the World Series. That's just a little tidbit for you. And they're winning right now. They're leading the division. In the race for, the East, they're on top. And then I guess the most fascinating story beyond that is that the Red Sox have caught the Yankees by playing great ball. Right. And then what do we hear about that? Well, what we hear about that is that, and you heard it even on this show, Craig Mish came on, and there's no one I like better than Scoop, but he's like, look at who they played. I'm not from, that side of the river where every night is so easy. If it were, we'd all be winning millions of dollars betting against bad teams. It's when do you bet on the bad team that hits is more intriguing to me than you think that you're going to win every single game you play. How did that work out for Detroit this past weekend against Seattle? They got their ass swept and gave up 35 runs. You never know when, like, I watch the Pirates, they go on a 9-game trip, they lose 8 of the games. Well, I'm used to that, right? So people think when you play the Pirates, it's automatic. When you play bad teams like the Rockies, it's automatic. When you play the A's, it's automatic. Well, when do you know, Mike, when the A's and Soderstrom, Rooker, and the Butler are going to hit home runs and they win the game? So this talk of, these teams are winning because they're playing bad teams, albeit somewhat true, you still have to execute and win the games. And now we're going to find out what they're made of when they come out and open up at Wrigley Field in a series. I say the hot streak ends based on having 4 days off.
Yeah, I was looking at all the Arizona guys. They really are the team that to watch for in terms of, guys who could be impactful at the trade deadline. You know how much we love Naylor. Naylor's going to be a free agent. He got traded. He's only going to probably spend 1 year in Arizona. Merrill Lynch Kelly, he was he's pitched in big games when they went to the World Series a couple years ago. They've got 4 or 5 guys that are
lost. They had the big star pitcher, and he blew out his arm.
Corbin Burns.
Yeah, Corbin Burns.
Got hurt
so
early
they've had
in the season.
I think their season ended right there, and it's been bad ever since. I think that, for my money, the only team that has a shot at the Dodgers out west is the Padres. We've seen the Giants, and they've kind of self-imploded, haven't they? They got Devers, and he's never done a thing. He's hit, 2 home runs the whole time he's been there?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's the Padres if there's going to be anyone out there that actually
competes. And I don't even think it'll be them.
I don't think they're as good as last year's team. I think last year's Padre team was probably a little bit better than this one. We'll come back and we'll hear from the kid, Mizorowski, out in Atlanta at the All-Star.
Okay.
Here's Here's a tip for my fellow golfers and gamers. Do you want to book a golf trip to Vegas? For the best weather, aim for spring and fall. But the best prices, aim for summer and winter. But if you're looking for that sweet spot, try June. You get the August prices without that scorching heat. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, so what is Miz saying about being at the All-Star game? Because a lot of people are mad that he's there, and I really don't care. I don't get worked up about this stuff. Like, they let him go to the All-Star game. Who cares? Like, let the kid do it. Like, I mean, I get it where people say he doesn't deserve it. He played 5 games, and he shouldn't be an All-Star and all this other stuff. But I think that, for my money, the guys that took time to bash him and talk bad about him and throw him under the bus for being selected, I think it made them look bad.
Yeah, look, and now he's there, and he's part of the festivities. It's got to be a thrill for him, considering 6 weeks ago he was in the minors, and now he's at the All-Star game in Atlanta after only 5 starts. He says everybody that's been in the room has been good to him. He had heard, of course, all of the criticism throughout the weekend. But now that he's down there in Atlanta, Scotty, he's just a smiling 23-year-old kid taking in all of the moment.
It's been crazy. Yeah, I mean, the last 5 weeks have been insane. I think it's, one of those things that you can't really sit back. And I was hoping for the All-Star break to be one of those times you could sit back and, kind of reflect on everything. But, we're here now, and we're doing this. So there's hasn't really set in yet. We're just kind of still going.
Sounds like he's having a blast and he's loving life, and that's what's funny to me is nobody can be happy for him. Everybody has to be jealous and angry. What's funny about all those guys that complained about him? They're all making hundreds of millions of dollars combined, and this kid's making no money whatsoever, and he's just happy to be in the show. And you have to ruin it for him because you're a jealous, stuck-up, rich P. I mean, honestly, who makes that much money and worries about some kid that just got called up from the minors? You're a guy making rollover millions. Why don't you worry about your own self and your own family and your own stupid team and your own job instead of worrying about some kid in Milwaukee you've never met or heard of? I mean, honestly, it's laughable to me. I lost a lot of respect for those guys on the Phillies for opening up their big fat mouths. I'm going to say it to Jody Mack, too.
760,000 for Mizorowski this year. 760,000.
Not a bad job when you pitch 5 games in the majors.
5
You're making
games,
that
and I'm sure he's
crap.
going to get. And we were talking about those bonuses that those guys, pre-arbitration guys, get. Stuff like this factors into that too, like making the All-Star team. So he's going to get probably a nice chunk, and depending on where his numbers are, where he finishes for Rookie of the Year, things like
Who
that.
were the guys that said it about for Philly? Was it Suarez and Sanchez? Who was it?
Trey Turner, I think, was the first most vocal guy, I would have to say, out of the entire crew. Really, Sanchez and Suarez really.
They didn't talk.
I wouldn't say they weren't really negative towards Mizorowski, I would say. They were more just kind of, Sanchez was like, they didn't ask me because I'm pitching Sunday. Suarez said they did ask him, and he didn't want to pitch. Turner went into the this is a joke type of stuff, and maybe Schwarber as well. I think Turner and Schwarber were probably the two guys who had the most to say.
make boatloads of cash.
Castellanos and Turner. Yeah, Savannah Bananas Castellanos called it. So Castellanos and Turner, I guess, had the strongest remarks about Mizorowski.
Remember, Castellanos got benched for the first time in his career. For why was that? He complained about Thompson.
Thompson took him out of a game late for defensive purposes, and I guess he let Thompson know that he wasn't happy about that. And then he sat him the next day after their little discussion that they had. So that is what it is.
He played him.
The main thing is you saw the smile on that kid's face. You go around that room yesterday. There's obviously guys that are happy to be there, but I mean that kid's having the time of his life. He's at the All-Star game in Atlanta, and you know what? He's going to get in the game tonight at some point, and I bet you he's going to get a couple strikeouts while he's in there. I bet you that when he comes into that game tonight, whatever inning that is.
Yeah, most guys, I don't really truly believe want to be there. The reason why they're okay with it is because a majority of them get a bonus to be there.
Yeah.
When they get there, then they get even more money. Trust me when I tell you, these guys never stop wanting more money. When you make tons of money, you want more tons of money. That's just all there is to it.
I say, you crank that Soldier Boy, right? You Darvish back on the mound. Haven't seen this guy in a minute right now. Yeah, man, crank it, man. Get it going up. Get the high. Yeah, let's go. Crank that Soldier Boy up here. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. That was big back then. Where were you? Senior high school? Or maybe even in grade school?
Dude. Bar mitzvah slate. In the bar mitzvah slate each and every weekend, the young Benny Steve was out there hitting.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
They practice in a public park. And Ferrall and Lodge said, no, they have a little facility, but it's open to the public. No, it's a public park. It basically there's kids playing basketball. Yeah, no, it's bad. I looked, I'm like, dear God, I thought, I'm like, man, I bet a lot of money on these guys. I can't believe this is where they practice.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
Scrounge out a couple of quarters from under the couch to go trade for somebody who actually makes some money. I don't think that he would actually do that. That's not in Hal's style the last couple of years, especially in season. I saw they signed that Heimer Candelario, who the Reds released. That's more their style, going the discount aisle as opposed to trading for someone who's actually having a huge year like Suarez.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
I would be looking to get him in dynasty or keeper leagues. If I'm out of a league and I'm looking to rebuild for the next years ahead, that's where I'm looking. Yuri Perez is a special young pitcher that we're going to be talking about in that Paul Skeens, in that Tarik Skubal, in that grouping of guys. I think he can be that good. He's only 22 years old. He's the boy. So you're getting a situation here where Yuri Perez eventually is going to grow into that man of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.